Hello, it's William Dudley with Discussion Post 5, the final screencast based on my lesson plan, based on the second opinion curriculum. I chose this subunit because it's in my field. I made a few modifications to it, but more or less I was trying to apply what was here to the 3SB template and the various requirements within it. So for instance, the central focus of unit. So for the content focus, which you can read here, I got from two elements from here, the essential question, how can we ensure the safety and effectiveness of CAM, and then the standards that they were using, the California History Standards, Principle 10. So combining those two together, gave me my content focus. Now, as for the literacy strategy focus, I was looking at the main activities, and it seemed like the meat of most of the work the students were doing was they were given these various texts on complementary alternative medicine, and they were supposed to elicit or comprehend and fill out information from them, which, as it happens, is one of the California Common Core standards, draw evidence from informational text. So that's what I used for the literacy standard. So that's what it was, the focus of it for this lesson, drawing evidence from text. The related skills were other things that are done in this lesson. There's a jigsaw activity, so there is collaborative discussion. And then there's an assessment, which is a paragraph that cites evidence from what you have just researched. And so those are the related skills. Discussion related skills, and then actually a bonus standard, since the academic discussion is part of this lesson plan, I put the collaborative discussion 1, exchanging information, ideas, and others through collaborative discussions. So now that I had this strategy focus and related skills and content focus, it also will appear on the learning objectives, draw evidence from informational texts to identify and summarize benefits, and evaluate government's attempts. Again, these are a combination of the standards and what was found in the lesson plan here. These objectives, where are they? So kind of combining these objectives and the standards. And also in the language function, I put, again, draw evidence from text and summary paragraph, because those are the activities we are doing in the lesson. So I think that covers most of the first part of this. Oh, so vocabulary is subject specific, CAM, complementary alternative medicine, FDA, Food and Drug Administration. There are probably others. The other one I chose was syntax. So for both the discussion portions of the classroom activity, and then also for the written assignment, the paragraph, the students are supposed to say, this is the point according to, and then cite a specific source. And so there are certain sentence structures or phrases that indicate that that is the function you are doing, according to this source, according to this author, as evidenced by this research. Those are English syntax that indicates that that's the function you're doing. So I thought that would be an appropriate syntax function for this lesson. Resources and materials, more or less taken from the curriculum itself, in addition to computers, internet connection, etc. The prior knowledge, so we are assuming the students have already had some lessons on complementary alternative medicine. The lesson plan refers to homework, so I used that. So that would be the transition. Take out your homework you've done the night before, your research sheet. The hook purpose, I was just proposing a general philosophical discussion. Why can't we be free to take any medicine we want if it feels good? Why not? And just a brief discussion, and maybe take a quick show of hands vote as to whether should government be able to control or regulate what kind of medicine you wish to try. So for the first instruction or modeling, I did something a little different than the lesson plan provided. So I have the students take out their research sheets. Let's see if I can show them. They're down here. There they are. So for homework, they had to fill out one medicine column and fill out, I think there are 9 squares with different questions. And so for the modeling, I proposed projecting this on the class, or doing this as a class, and for each medicine, pick out 1 square to elicit a response from a student in the class, discuss it, check out their source, where their source came from, and then writing it down as a class and have the students copy it down, just 1 square. And then for our next one, we'll do hypnotherapy. We'll do a different square for that, elicit a different student volunteer from their homework, and so on and so forth. And so each, and modeling appropriate citation, academic language, and filling out this research sheet. So every student will have at least 1 square filled in from each column. So that will be the direct instruction portion. And hopefully that won't take no longer than 9 or 10 minutes. On scaffolds, I noticed that some research materials are available in Spanish, so I'll let some English learners use that, at least for researching. For the writing out, rather have them do that in English. And then when I'm doing this in class, maybe rephrase what the students contribute, but model it in the appropriate academic language. For IEP students, maybe give a different research bibliography, or maybe point them towards a single source to direct them to, rather than multiple sources like the other students have. Okay, the guided instruction practice. We've done the modeling. We filled out 1 square each of the research sheets, and so the students will finish their research sheets by the jigsaw exercise. So first they will jigsaw into their expert groups and double check the research for each. So the hypnotherapy expert group will review what they have all written for the different squares. If someone missed 1 or 2 squares, this is their chance to fill everything in. And then after that, we'll go into the teaching groups. And so there'll be a representative from each of the different fields. And in this case, we'll go over and discuss and share with the class and what they found, the answers to the questions, and also tell them where they found this. According to this source, they said this. According to this source, the benefits are claimed for this point of medicine. And this will take, a good portion of the class, maybe half the class. Differentiating, so we'll have strategic grouping, not placing all ELs or IPs in the same group. Independent practice. And so this will kind of be the assessment. They have their sheets. They choose one of the types of the KAM and write a 1-paragraph report that cites at least 2 facts from a reputable source. And for differentiating or scaffolds for English language learners, maybe have an additional vocabulary list. And also a worksheet, maybe with some phrases like according to or other basic rules when you're citing a source, how you indicate that in an English sentence. And the same thing with the IEP students. And also with the IEP students and English learners, maybe give them an extra time, or maybe even take the class home for homework. And for closure, maybe do another vote like we did at the beginning of class. Have they changed their mind, and see if people have changed their mind, whether more or less regulation of CAM is necessary.